Welcome to the A&A Lounge Lisbon Scorecard Review. We'll be breaking down all the features and services of the lounge, plus going into details on each, and our ratings will be based on comparisons to similar lounges of the same class and type, as we take you by the numbers to give you some general information about the lounge. Let's break down the scorecard for the A&A Lounge, Lisbon. Now we'll take you inside the lounge in Terminal 1 by Gate 22 on the 6th floor. You'll see an escalator in the center of the food court, and at the top of the escalator is the A&A Lounge. There'll be two large monitors showing flight times. I believe I only saw these two monitors displaying flight times, so keep that in mind. They also had a very large TV display, and if there was a big game, match, or race on, it'd be great to watch on the big screen prior to my flight. There are two main food areas in the lounge. The first one, and the larger one, is cafeteria style, with self-serve and serve-to-order options. And they have some cafeteria-style tables and chairs so you could sit down and enjoy your meal. And behind that cafeteria is a smaller dining area, basically self-serve with only a few food options, some coffee and drinks, and a few more tables and chairs just in case you wanted a more secluded area to enjoy your meal. They had a nice variety of seating options scattered throughout the lounge, but I was looking for something different. I was looking for the perfect spot where I could just sit back and relax. And then, out of the corner of my eye, I noticed this orange beauty. And this is where I called home for the next 2.5 hours, where I could just sit back and relax and partake in some of the lounge's food, drinks, and free Wi-Fi, and enjoy my remaining hours in Lisbon. So we're going to go with 4 stars for the space. It's a big open space with high ceilings. And the good thing is, even when the lounge got full, it never really felt crowded or congested. Next on the scorecard is the lounge's service. The staff in the lounge was polite and professional. A solid 3.5 stars. Now let's take a look at the lounge's food selections. One of the main reasons people come to a lounge is to sit back, relax, and enjoy some food. So now let's take a closer look at the menu. Not the clearest photo of the menu, but you get the idea. They have a variety of sandwiches, small meals, snacks, and desserts. And depending whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, a few more options. And having some fresh fruit available is always a nice touch. And they also had a few self-serve items, a variety of sandwiches, and fruit cups were available here as well. And just in case you have a little sweet tooth, they had a wide variety of desserts to choose from. Okay, here I tried to get a shot of all the food offered, but as the line was a little bit crowded, I wasn't able to get the cleanest video shot, but I think you get the idea. So I made a plate for myself. There might have been a few bites missing prior to the photo. I was a little hungry. It happens. And our scorecard rating for food? A solid 3.5 stars. The food here was in line with other similar type lounges, and I liked that they incorporate some local cuisine. They had fresh fruit and a large selection of desserts. Let's take a look at the lounge's drink menu. They had a selection of coffees and teas, juices and water, a selection of wines, a couple of beer options, and a variety of spirits. They had a few of these fridges in each of the cafeterias. They were stocked with water, juices, and beer. And they had someone preparing different varieties of coffee from this fancy coffee machine. And the drink of choice that morning seemed to be a cappuccino. And it seemed like the drink of choice for all the people in the lounge that morning. Now, I don't drink coffee. I prefer something with a little more spirit. Now here they have a selection of liquor. Not a large selection, but they cover all the basics. Okay, say you had a rough day, or you had to wait on a long line to get through security, and you really wanted a strong drink, I'm sure you'd be able to find one among these options. And of course, since we're in Portugal, they had a variety of wines. As we all know, Portugal is famous for its port wines, but they have so many other great varieties. They are the 11th largest wine producer in the world, and today they had a nice selection on hand, some whites, reds, ports, and sparkling. And our drink rating is 3 3/4 stars. We gave them slightly above average because they had a nice variety of wines, and although they didn't have a formal bar, they did have a selection of liquors. They had a variety of sodas and waters, and on the downside, only 2 choices for beer. We are talking about the lounge's Wi-Fi, power outlets, and USB ports. The Wi-Fi signal in the lounge was excellent, no issues with dropouts or speed. There were a few of these boxes scattered throughout the lounge to power your devices. Unfortunately, in some sections of the lounge, there weren't power outlets readily available. So we're going to give the connectivity in the lounge 3.5 stars. Alright, not all lounges have a window to look out, but if they do, it's usually of a runway or two, or a few planes scattered about. It's no different here at the A&A Lounge. The view is slightly obstructed by these metal blinds. I'm not sure if the blinds are always like this, but they were the day we were there. But at least it's a view, and some lounges don't even have one. So for having a view, albeit a slightly obstructed view, we're going to give the lounge 3 stars. We are looking at the cleanliness of the food areas, the bathrooms, the floors, the ability of the staff to clean away plates and garbage quickly. First off, they had a few of these cleaning stations scattered around the lounge. But a telltale sign of a clean lounge is how clean are the bathrooms. But if for some reason you feel uncomfortable looking at bathrooms, please turn away for the next 15 seconds. But these bathrooms were immaculate. And combine that with the fact of how clean the rest of the lounge was, we have no choice but to give the A&A Lounge 5 stars for cleanliness. Okay, well maybe they just had their A-team working that day. Or maybe it's that clean all the time. But the fact is, by the time we left the lounge, it was very crowded and still spotless. And that's pretty impressive. Alright, let's talk about some extras. These are things or services provided by our lounge that aren't necessarily provided by all lounges. Now these services may vary depending on the type or classification of the lounge or even the country you're in. But let's take a look at the A&A Lounge extras. They had resting rooms in the lounge, which is a great find in any lounge. Just in case you had a long day, you needed a nap, or you just needed some alone time. They had a smoking room in the lounge, and even though I don't smoke, I did see some people inside taking advantage of it. They have showers in the lounge, but unfortunately, they were out of service the day we were there. They have a baby changing room, and we already covered the Wi-Fi and internet. And here is the baby changing room, just as clean as the rest of the lounge. And here are the resting rooms. They were in a hallway towards the back of the lounge, close to the bathrooms. They had some resting rooms with 1 bed and some with 2. Each resting room had a table and a light that you can control. but the resting rooms had no doors. So basically you had privacy, but not total privacy. But these bays are a good option, especially if you need some private time or even get in a little nap. With these extras, I'm giving the A&A Lounge 3.5 stars. And here is our scorecard rating for each category. And our final score for the A&A Lounge Lisbon is 3.75 stars. So our rating is coming in slightly above average for the A&A Lounge. Remember, we are basing our rating on comparing this lounge to other lounges of the same category and class. When returning to Lisbon, I will definitely stop at the A&A Lounge, and I recommend you do as well, especially if you have Priority Pass. And here are some final thoughts. Find your gate first, especially if you're at an unfamiliar airport. In the case of Lisbon International, at least the day we were there and the gates we were going to, I don't know if this is always the case, but passport control was prior to our gate. After the lounge, the restaurants and duty-free, we had to stop at passport control. And this surprised some people and caused some confusion. We saw people running late for their flight, confused on which line they should stand in, and even some people missing their flights. So please, if you're unfamiliar with the airport or the terminal, find your gate first and then go back to the lounge and relax before your flight. For more insights, tips, and info into all your travel moves, stay tuned and subscribe to our channel.